I honestly believe organisations need to look at their remediation and incident response. Gartner have come out and said that organisations are normally being breached for on average 200 plus days before they even react to that. So if you think about what these hackers can do in less than a minute, and you think they've been inside your network for over 200 days, that's a scary thought. So I honestly, people should reach out and look at how we can ensure that any advanced malware is not sitting on their endpoints. I think it needs to be a combination of all three. All three parts need to be that trusted advisory role. We, as the vendors, we need to make sure that the technology solutions that we're putting in front of customers and organisations does what it actually says we say that it do. Resellers obviously have a multiple portfolio of products that they need to offer. They then also need to be the trusted advisor because they bring that whole security offering together for the customers. And then the customers also need to understand their businesses and what the risks are for their businesses. Is it data? Is it a PR catastrophe? Whatever that risk potentially is, then they need to look at what defences they need to put in place to mitigate that. So from a Malwarebytes point of view, we have 7 layers of protection that we offer, which are post and pre-execution of an exploit or of a malware attack. The first one is our web protection, where we use a database of IP addresses or websites that are compromised. We then stop the fingerprinting attempts that happens when a person visits a compromised website and they're trying to do their reconnaissance to see how that endpoint security is set up. We then look at the behavioral points of malware. We have anti-ransomware, and then we have our remediation capabilities. And we look at the behavior of malware where our competitors look at a signature-based approach. So we're able to stop those zero-day threats that our competitors can't. It's a good question. The region has always been more of an incident-driven region. So people would get attacked or they would hit ransomware, then they would look to what sort of solution they would need to stop that from happening in place. But what we've seen over the last 3 months is that there's definitely been an increase of POC requests that have come through our channel program because the customers, the governments, the businesses are now much more aware of these threats there, and they know that their existing defences aren't the right products in place to help them protect themselves from those things. The reason why we encourage our customers to go for a proof of concept is because when we install our technology on your endpoints, we know that out of 8 or 10 machines, if it's 8 out of 100 or 8,000 out of 10,000, we will find some forms of malware that has been missed by the existing defences there. We've also have our own threat report, so we can now, I mentioned earlier that we have 500,000 downloads of our free remediation tool, so we can now show customers their existing endpoint technology, how many times that's been downloaded by customers or businesses around the world, and we can show what types of threats and what types of malware we have found on those endpoints to see what their existing defences have missed.